Racing YouTube channel for the Prospecteer here in Belgium at Spa-Francorchamps. Sam unfortunately isn't going to be joining me tonight, but that doesn't mean I'm alone because I am joined by league racing legend and social media personality Odems.
Please don't big me up for that little. I'm much more than a legend. I'm a deity at this point. But happy to be here.
Yeah, of course you've raced in one hub before, and we were just talking about this before the stream. When he came here in Belgium, he got disqualified for reversing over the line, and he also got a qualifying ban. So luckily he's not racing today. Don't let your eyes deceive you. It does say he's in Williams, but he's going to change out of that very shortly.
I'm just spooking the grid. Just spooking them. They probably think, oh wait, is he actually?
That would be quite something. Of course, he's a very experienced and quick league racer. He would not be in Prospecteer, of course. Luckily, he's just gone spectator. We've got 16 drivers right now and 2 spectators. Just quickly, we'll run through the championship standings. Of course, the Alfa Romeo driver of Gus currently dominating the tier at the moment. He's 17 points ahead of Aaron JS. Right now, he's on 34. Gus has won the first 2 races. Do you think he can take a third here?
I mean, the trend is him winning, so I don't think it would be out of the question for him to do it again. I'm not really sure like of his strengths and weaknesses. I've never seen. Is this his first season?
This is he's a completely new driver, and currently he's got a 100% record, so fair play to him.
It's looking like maybe he's either a tier lower than where he should be, or he's just the cream of the crop.
Well, I have noticed in the past 2 races of season 16 that he's been pretty much dominating. Nicky did get in some good offense last week in his championship hunt, because after he had a bad result in Zandvoort, he really did come back. He took pole last time out in France, so he does have something to prove, and maybe he can take the fight to Gus today. Unfortunately, he's not second in the championship. I will just see where he is right now if I can find the standings. I just went off it on my phone. We'll run through the top 10, I'd say. So currently Gus is leading, Aaron is in second, Truth NRP with a podium to his name, he sits in third, and Nicky also with a podium, he's in fourth at the moment. So those two quite close in terms of their stats. 25 points for Truth and Nicky on 20. Jamie Met in 5th, and Liam13, one of our sponsors in One Hub. He's providing all of us with the trophies. Make sure you check out his Twitch channel. I'll just highlight his name on the screen. So where is he? There he is. That is his Twitch name, spelt out with the numbers. Make sure you give him a follow and give him a watch sometime. And then Zach Jarvis is in 7th at the moment. Cloudy Balloons in 8th, 9th for Astronaut, and Alex Lilliart sits in 10th.
I'm interested to see. I'm interested to commentate on Alex Lilliard, because usually he's the one commentating on me. So it's a nice little reverse.
Of course, we do have some commentators actually in this division. Jamie Met's a commentator, I believe Max a commentator as well. So we've got a really interesting grid actually, and it's nice to see commentators stepping out of the comms box and getting in the driver's seat. Maybe one day, sometime down the line, I'll be in a One Hub racing car, probably in the 17th division, if there is one at that point.
Nah, 12th.
12th, alright. I'm not sure when we're going. We should have started about 2 minutes ago. Oh, we got APX Rogue. I haven't seen this driver in One Hub at all this season at all. Do you know anything about him?
No clue.
Well, he's your fellow countryman. You're both Irish.
Well, I'm cheering him on from now on.
Brilliant. I believe we actually
Stevie's in here as well. I didn't even notice Stevie was in here. I remember his first debut was season 9, so good to see him back. Stevie Hart, that is.
Well, he's certainly got some history in One Hub. It looks like we are readying up now, so we will get underway very shortly for Spa-Francorchamps, one of only 2 tracks that have been a part of every season of One Hub since Season 2. So this is a very historical track, and it's also the longest on the calendar. Certainly an interesting one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a very dynamic track. There's just so many action zones on it. There's so many places to mess up, many places to overtake, many places to set yourself up. It's a legendary track for a reason, and yeah, it'll be a good one. Hopefully the dirty air isn't too much of a factor though, but it probably will be.
Absolutely, there is pretty much every corner here is a high-speed corner aside from turn 1 La Source and also Rivage, I believe, which is turn 8. Other than that, they're all high-speed corners. So, sorry?
The bus stop as well.
Oh, the bus stop, yeah, that's a very low-speed corner. So it is there is going to be a lot of opportunities for these guys to overtake, but first they have to get through qualifying. It's going to be interesting to see what the weather will be. I will get the actual forecast on the TAS system. If I don't think I have a link yet, I think you have one. So if you could send me that, I'll get that.
What link?
For the IGK TAS system.
You mean the YouTube video?
No. Did you not get a link to the dashboard?
No, I didn't.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Well, if one of our admins is watching, please kindly send us the link to the dashboard. And it looks like there's rain out on track for qualifying. Yes. We'll get that once we get it, but could throw the spanner in the works for some drivers. Not everyone really does wet practice. How do you think these guys will handle the conditions?
Well, my experience in the podium tier is that there will be a lot of crashes. There will be a lot of mayhem. I think it will be a lot more important to keep a calm head than to actually be fast in a wet race on a lower tier. So I think whoever can keep their composure, whoever has a good setup as well, whoever has a good stable setup, that's who we're gonna. Because with a wet, it's drastic difference a wet session has to a dry session sometimes. Like, you'll see drivers who are nowhere just all of a sudden come to life when it starts raining a bit. So yeah, maybe we'll see a few surprises.
Absolutely. There are a couple of wet merchants. You don't really see too much of them until they're actually in their element, so we could see a surprise performance. Not everyone does practice for the rain, so it could also throw off some of the front runners, Gus and Jamie and also Nikki as well, so they might be thrown off a little bit in the wet conditions. Of course, we did see a wet race in Zandvoort, and I believe we had 11 finishers at the end of that one, so they were struggling on the new track, on the new game in their first race. I think they'll be able to handle it a little bit better here. We'll have more than 11 finishers if it is a wet race. Of course, I'm not too sure. I wouldn't hope so. I did a wet race here yesterday and I disconnected, which is sad, but
the thing is that the dirty air in a wet race, just nothing's gonna happen.
Absolutely. I believe the furthest driver up on their outlap is the Season 16 debutant, making his first appearance in Prospect here, so we'll follow along with him once he starts his lap. What do you think the pole time will be around here in these intermediate conditions? I
have no clue whatsoever. Not even a sniff of a clue. If I have to number out, I'll say like a 150.
1 minute 50. Well, we could see that, but we'll
it's a dry race.
It could be a dry race, and we could see some guys running dry setups. So maybe the guys at the top, if they're running a wet setup, they'll be struggling in the race. But I don't know if that'll be too much of an issue being Prospect here. I'm not throwing any dirt at them, but it will definitely be interesting to see as Rogue's just coming to the end of the first sector. 32.4 through the first sector. It's practically just a straight and a corner, the first sector I like to think of it as, but coming up towards turn number 8, he seemed to have got the exit down pretty nicely there, coming through this Rivage corner, very slow speed. You want a short shift as well because the traction can actually catch you out a lot, but he seems to be running pretty decently on this lap so far.
Got a flag.
It looks like at the top of Radion there. I think they've cleared
I saw
themselves
cloudy balloons off in the gravel, but he's recovered and now he's slowing down on the grass, so conditions are definitely caught these drivers out already.
Well, he was struggling in qualifying last week, Cloudy Balloons, it was actually dry conditions in qualifying, but he couldn't get that lap in until pretty much right into the end of the session, and then he secured a pretty high up position. So that might be a tale of what we're going to see tonight. We've got 25 viewers in the stream. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like and also share this stream, because it'd be really beneficial for the growth of One Hub if you do that. But I believe Apex Rogue is about to finish his lap. What can he set? He's going to do a 1 minute 55.2. Will we see the racing point of Liam top that? Yes, we will. One of our sponsors, Liam, taking provisional pole position. It looks like we're starting to see a couple of fast laps coming out already.
His lap has looked cautious but decent. He has a bit of traffic here with Cloudy though. Not sure it'll hamper him too much. Cloudy's about to start a lap. Gus is about to finish his. Where will Gus put this? I reckon it'll be first. Yes, it is, by a somewhat comfortable margin.
And almost a full second he's got there towards the car behind him, Liam. So very nice. 9 to 10th
in the papaya. I think he's starting a lap. So
yeah, it looks like it. I believe Adarko's just finished a lap there. And the other papaya, the McLaren car, he's unfortunately gone 3.5 seconds back from Gus, so he's got to improve on that time if he wants to be in a higher position.
Cloudy's getting very held up here. This I think Haas in front of him, and this is hampering his terribly. Like you can see he's probably fuming. This car, I'm pretty sure this car is not a lap 2 because they're taking some very weird lines, and yeah, I think Cloudy's getting very heavily compromised here. That'll probably be a penalty, I think, if they're not on a lap.
And, you just saw there a couple of wiggles of the steering wheel of frustration for Cloudy Balloons there. He's really being hampered by indecisive Mac here, who is not on a lap. He's not using any of the ZRS. So at the moment he's just sitting in the middle of the track, and it is really holding up him and the car behind.
This isn't even like a brief little... Oh, Gaz is...
Oh dear.
Retired.
We'll see on board with... Oh, he's crashed that at Blanchimont there. I've just gone on board with Jamie, Matt. He has completely totaled that car.
That is a treacherous corner in the wet, Blanchimont, along with Eau Rouge, because you do have to just kind of send it. You have to really be on the limit there to maximize the performance. As yeah, now that Haas car, indecisive, is starting his lap. The damage has already been. Cloudy is shocked if like off the next race because yeah, Gazman out.
Yeah, you had a bit of lag there, so I didn't quite know what you said there.
I said that Hitler did nothing wrong, and that
right. We'll move on from that. We'll follow along with, let's say, IGK ends, the developer of the brilliant task system that we are using today. He's doing pretty well. He's gone purple through the first sector on our screens. I can actually check on the dashboard if that is truly a purple first sector from ends, and he has gone purple through the first sector, has the Racing Point car, the Pink Panthers. He and his teammate looking quite strong at the moment. Purple from ends, and also a second place right now for Liam 1-3. So the Racing Point could be on top today. Oh, a big slide coming through Poo for ends there.
This is so cool. This dashboard, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm in awe. This is amazing.
And it all says, it says all the damage that everyone's got and everything. It's incredible. It's a really well worked system. It's so accurate. You really have to.
How is it doing this? This is insane.
Something to do with telemetry systems settings. And is that Mac? That is Mac. Again, he's right in the way. He's not on a lap either, and he is pretty much forced ends off the track there through Blanchimont. Why is he not getting out of the way here? I'm really confused as to what he's doing, and now he's spun.
Was he not on a lap that time?
No, he wasn't using his ERS. Look, he's coming to the pits now.
Huh.
Dear.
Well, it's only 8th for IGK. Again, indecisive is not having a good session here in terms of keeping it clean.
No, that's not nice to see, really, as Nicky goes to the top of the standings.
Stevie Hart.
Oh no, Blanchimont again.
Crashed. Broke his car, as the telemetry very nicely puts it.
Lovely. That's pretty much the same place as Gazman. I think he's gone off to the right-hand side of the track instead of the left, where Gazman had lost it. Probably the curbs where Gazman lost it. Whereas I'm not sure what happened to your fellow countryman.
Season, I want to say 10. Probably was 10 on F1 2017. Podium tier race around here was an amazing race. I remember Blanchimont and Eau Rouge, especially Blanchimont, just had so many casualties after it. I want to say like at least 4 drivers from Blanchimont alone ended up in the barriers there because, as I said, you have to maximize it, and if you just get a little bit out of line, that's it, you're done. Because you feel like, oh, maybe I took it a bit slowly that last lap, let me try and do it a bit faster this time, and all of a sudden, you're in the wall.
Absolutely, I kind of see it as a corner where it's easy to take. Oh, and that's Cloudy Balloons off in Radion, and I just went on board with him there. He's got big damage to that Red Bull's front wing, I believe. He's missing an end plate on that. Luckily he didn't lose his wheel, but as I was saying about Blanchimont, it's an easy corner to take slowly, but to absolutely nail it, you're probably going to spin out a couple of times in practice.
Kingen is purple in the second sector, so we'll go on board with him.
He's gone right off the track.
He has no front wing.
He has, yeah. What's happened there?
He must have crashed because I don't think he's gone purple. You know, just an assumption. I don't think he's gone purple with no front wing. Maybe telemetry's wrong.
He did a 1 second sector time, according to the dashboard. I think that's wrong.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
It's unfortunate for Kingen though that he's lost his entire wing there. So he was on a lap and he was pushing. I don't remember what his first sector looked like. I was more focused on the 1 second sector time. That is quite a mouthful to say, but unfortunate for him.
He's struggling out there to get back to the pits.
Yeah. Like
very badly. He should make it in time though. Be okay for another run. Well, you do want more than one run usually on the intermediate tires to get them up to temperature and to just get yourself up to temperature really. Because the wet is very different from the dry, as previously established with all the casualties we've had.
That being said, with the wet weather, have you noticed it's actually not raining anymore?
It is dry actually. It is getting drier.
You can see on Cloudy's tyres that there's still spray on the track, but I think if you really want to go out right at the end, you could maybe make the slick tyres work. It will be a risk, but it's possible.
Alex is out in that Haas car, probably unaware of his teammates' shenanigans. Yeah, he's out. He's not interested in those drives. He wants to go on the intermediates. It's looking very dry now. Not dry, but it's looking very drier now.
Yeah, I know what you mean there. It's a lot less spray than it was before. Down on board with Alex, we're just following along with him. He's not going to try and go out on the slicks and take that risk. He really does want to get higher up the grid, and being in 9th position right now, it's not the best place to start.
I think maybe if he may have enough time to like get back into the pits and put slicks on. If he's actually like using this lap to judge whether or not he's going to start on the inters, that would be a pretty good shout from him. I think he might come in, you know.
Well, it would be wise to do so, because he went off at Poo and he invalidated his lap. He ran wide there, so his second sector he would have been quicker through that, but it wouldn't have been that much. And we got a yellow flag. I believe that is his teammate of Indecisive, and he's got damage on that front wing of the Haas there, so he's most likely not going to get another proper run out. Is Indecisive, and his day goes from bad to worse.
Yep. Lily, does he pit? He does, yes.
It'll be interesting to see when some of the Jarvis have already fitted
Jarvis, Liam, all on inters. Oh, Jarvis is coming in, so he's fine. I think he might go into the dries if he deems that it is a wise thing to do. Yeah, 3 drivers out on inters. A lot of drivers still though staying in the pits. I think they're going to go into the dries, because usually when stuff like this happens, it gets dry at the very last moment, like the very last laps. That's when it's dry enough. So I think maybe I could be completely off and they'll stay on inters, but I think that we'll see a dry running.
Well, I'm just watching with Truth and RP. He's the first one of the slick runners to come out on the Red Bull tyres, the softs. If he can nail this and he gets in a good lap, he can shoot up to pole by miles. But right now it looks like he's taking this tentatively. I still think the track is damp. He's definitely sliding through the corner. I think we're right at the crossover point of the tyres where the slicks will become quicker, and with 2 minutes left I think we're going to see some dry running.
Yep, Gus is out on the softs. Indecisive to invalidate his lap. Well, you know, I don't think he has a front wing, so I don't invalidate his lap on the inters.
Ooh.
Or he's on an out lap.
Oh yeah,
I have to remember that. Here comes Ends though, into the final corner. I want to see if he can improve on those intermediate tires.
Well, he's going to cross the line now. It doesn't look like an impressive time from Ends from what I'm seeing here.
He's backed out too.
He lost a lot of time there, didn't he? I think the slicks are definitely better at this point.
I think a lot of these drivers jumped the gun here, going onto the intermediates so early.
Absolutely, and as the session goes on, Indecisive Max going to retire in the pits. They don't have enough time. If you're in the pits, most likely you're definitely not gonna get around the track in time. But Truth NLP is about to begin his lap around here at Spa-Francorchamps on the soft tyres. We haven't seen a completed dry lap so far in this session, so this is going to be a test of what they can do here as coming through La Source.
It's way too late. He's not making it for another run. I think he got a bit sidetracked there, because he's definitely not going to set another lap. Idako not staying up either. He's retired, so we're on board with Truth, and he's going to be the first man out, set up on the softs. I think he's probably left it a bit maybe too early, because you won't get the most out of those tires being the first one to settle out. But he'll be the benchmark. He gets this lap in at it.
Well, through the first sector he goes, and he's gone purple, but not by too much. Of course, it is a pretty quick part of the track anyways, so there's not much of a difference, but he's gone 5/10 quicker than the fastest sector one, which does belong to Nicky. This could be interesting to see at the end of the session where he can put that car, because as he continues on this lap, he'll only get quicker in comparison to the other intermediate runners who are on a lap right now. They have not finished, and Dako's just said in the PlayStation chat that his internet's died. Hopefully he is able to join back. They do get multiple invites, but that could be bad for his race.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they still have that glitch where if you join on the formation app you just don't get a car, that sort of thing.
There's probably some sort of glitch like that. Knowing Codemasters.
Yeah. So launch run should be a bit easier to take. It is nice and tidy. This was a very tidy lap. A bit cautious. Misses the apex there, but across the line he's gonna go first. How much is he gonna go first by?
3.2 seconds. Well, that really does show that it is dry conditions, and it is right at the end of the session. Aaron JS is on an outlap. He's definitely not going to get by. But the next driver is not Kingan, sorry, he just retired. Jamie Met, one of the drivers in the top 3 in the championship. Look at the slide that he's got on through the bus stop there, having to go opposite lock to save the car, and he is not going to go onto pole position provisionally. Trying to find
Gus.
Oh, Gus. Oh, this should be a good lap. Wow.
Yep, 6/10 clear. But Nicky fastest in sector 2.
Well, Nicky took pole last time out. Can he make it 2 front row starts in a row in that scarlet red Ferrari car? They're not doing too well in real life, but in prospect here in One Hub Racing, they are doing splendidly. Is now to cross the line. Can Nicky jump Gus on this lap? It doesn't look like it here, and no. 7/10 off.
Liam across the line, he takes second, 10th ahead of Nicky. I think that's... No, we have 2 more. Yep. Storm and Cloudy, who I think was the last driver to I think he's actually backed out of this one. So it looks like Cloudy's going to be starting in 15th place.
Aaron JS.
For him.
Aaron JS somehow actually managed to get onto a lap. I didn't think he was going to start one. It said he was on an outlap when the clock ticked over, but he is doing pretty well right now.
Currently crossed the line with like a second to go.
Must have. But he has gone purple through the first sector. He's going to have the driest run out of anyone. All eyes are on this man. He might pick up a little bit of a toe.
Or no.
The AI car.
The AI car.
Completely screwed him there.
That is painful.
He's still quicker, so it is not over for him. He can definitely put in a strong time regardless of being held up by the AI car of Gus. As to come around the final corner, he's going to pull into the pits. Why?
I guess he's probably on inters. Yeah, he might get a first set of tires, I guess. That's probably why.
I don't see why you wouldn't go for pole. And his AI's just done a drive-through.
The AI just... What? His AI just...
right.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. That happened. Cool.
Brilliant. I'm trying to hold back my laugh, but we'll move on for the qualifying results. Gus takes pole position. Liam 1-3, one of our sponsors, takes P3. Nicky, he takes P2. Nicky in P3. Truth NRP in 4th. P5 for Jamie Met. He's quite a ways off of his championship rival. Then Storm, the last of the soft runners to put in a lap. He goes 6th. Zach Jarvis goes 7th. Rogue in his first race in season 16 takes 8th. 9th for Aaron JS. And then rounding out the top 10 is King, and we'll have the rest of the grid once we get into the formation lap. Interesting qualifying.
Yeah, I guess you could say Zach Jarvis is in a pretty good position because he's got fresher tires compared to everyone else. I am confused why Aaron pulled into the pits. Like, surely he was still up. There's no way he wasn't. So I guess he wanted the fresh tires as well, even though he's starting in 9th. Surely you have to take the track position though. I would not have done that if I were him. I would have still kept on going with the lap. But yeah, Gus on pole. Hopefully it's not... it's Nicky leads the session.
No. Hopefully... Hopefully he can get back in. The warning glitch, which has been in the game since last game, and they still haven't fixed it, only really happens if you leave the session after the formation lap, once the race has started. So hopefully Nicky can get back in this session. But it looks a bit overcast up ahead, doesn't it?
It It does. We were told a dry race in the stream chat, but maybe they were just bamboozling us. Who knows?
They could just be pulling our leg here, but we are going to get ready to go racing soon once they pull off on their formation lap, as the lights go out for the short run. Well, actually it's a very long run, what am I talking about, but the slow run of Spa on just going to get some heat into their tyres. The rest of the grid ends in 11th, Alex Lilliart in 12th, Darko in 13th, who's not in the session, so he's not got back in. Indecisive Mac, who's causing a lot of issues during qualifying, starts 14th. One of the drivers he impeded is starting in 15th, and Stevie Hart and Gazman taking up the final row of the grid. Both of those guys actually did crash out before they could put on a lap, so it'd be interesting to see what they can do throughout this race.
I'm interested in Jamie down there in 5th place. It was a decent qualifying for him, getting onto those softs. He's usually pretty decent on the tires, and maybe that might come into play.
Well, of course, he is fighting for the championship, but that is not everything in One Hub Racing, because Next Level Racing is another one of our sponsors. They are providing us with a sim racing cockpit for the Going Gets Tough award. If you answer all of your questions in the race interviews, pre-race interviews, have 100% attendance and finish outside the top 3 in your respective championship, you can be in with a chance of winning a Next Level Racing sim cockpit, and it is a very nice incentive to just keep going in the championship and turning up all the time. So very nice little reward there, and the drivers outside the top 3 could be within a chance of that, and it's quite nice to see that that is a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a nice little incentive. I think without it though, you know, league racing is a very passion-driven so it is a nice little bonus, but I still think that, you know, these drivers, no matter what, are going to give 100.
Well, hopefully no one's sandbagging on purpose just so they can get a free sim racing cockpit, because that wouldn't be nice. But we are just coming around the final corners. I don't actually believe anyone got disqualified on the formation lap, so just quickly I'm going to ask you, who do you think will be the top 3?
I'm going to say Gus, Liam and Jamie.
Right, you know
actually
what?
no, Gus, Liam and Truth. I think it'll stay like it is.
Very interesting there. Of course, Nikki not predicted to be on the podium by Odin's here, so we're just getting ready to start. You can hear the engines beginning to fire up. Soon the lights will be on, whenever they'll be on. Right, we had a glitch like this in Zandvoort where both of the commentators lost connection to the lobby. Then we didn't get to join back until about lap 9.
That's nice.
So we just missed the entire first half of the race.
That's great.
You love Codemasters glitches, don't you?
It's been like, what, a decade? And we're still getting this nonsense.
This has to be one of the most glitched lobbies I've seen on the game. We've got drivers not starting, AI's doing drive-through penalties on flying laps. It's ridiculous what's happening with this lobby.
Wait, it even shows the championship, the telemetry?
Yeah, it does. It's incredible.
Is it accurate?
It's completely accurate, yeah. It's incredible.
Wow. Tass, not Tass, what's... Ends? You are a god. It even has a tire wear, oh my god.
You know what my theory is right here? All the drivers are talking about it. It might be Nicky, because he lagged out the session. Drivers are saying in the PSN chats that they're not loading in. Well, Nicky's not loading in for them. So I think Nicky has to leave, and then we'll get started. He might have to miss out on this race here.
He does have to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Someone's going to DM Nikki in time to take one for the team, or we get a lobby restart.
Well, it is up to the tier coordinator, who is Gaza. He's starting in 17th. Whether we restart or I think we, to be fair on Nikki, we should restart.
Yeah, that probably would be better.
It looks like they're telling him to leave and rejoin.
See the ERS.
Yep, everything.
Fuel mix. I'm in awe of this. You can even see what the system.
Oh, I've got an error. Oh dear. Yep. So they're gonna start. We have to get. I think the stream is off now.